So if you go above, we have already done this. Okay, so I'll just use that part of the code. Okay, so this will be my approach 1, wherein I'm counting the number of characters in my string and then putting it in a for loop and then extracting each and every character. And if the counter is matching with the character, that is if I'm matching it with the D, so instead of using isNumeric over here, I'll just match the mid function, that is whatever is extracted, each and every character, with the character D. Okay, because D is what I'm looking for, and this will give the count. So after the end of the loop, I can simply display the counter, which has the output. So when I run this script, it should display 4 as expected. Now this is the first approach. Now if you are appearing for an interview, they can ask you for some other approach, like they can ask you to not use mid function. So what will you do in that case? So I'll show you the other approach without using the mid function, how you can compare. So what we'll do is, now you can find the string D, the count of the string D in your string. What I'll do is, I will split my string, okay, using the split function, and I'll use the delimiter as D. Okay, so does it ring the bell? So what will happen is, it will store in an array. I'm just randomly giving any name to the array, A names, okay. So what will happen is, when I'm splitting it using D, it will store the words in the different array based on the delimiter D. So the first index will have SJ, second will have JK, and then again the D, and then the third will be empty because there is nothing between two D's. In that ways, it will occupy each and every space. So what will happen is, when you just simply have to split it using the delimiter D, and then you can display the upper bound of it, and the upper bound is the answer. Okay, so this looks shorter if you see as compared to the above. Okay, I'm sorry, there's some error in this. Since I had not used I had commented the value of string, and therefore it is showing -1. Okay, so as you can see, the output is 4. So as you can see, both the codes are doing the same thing, but the difference is this can be done in 2 lines, whereas this takes a lot of lines. So as a coder, it's always important that you should try to find an easy solution and apply it wherever possible. Also, one thing you have noted, that suppose you're using a string which is not been initialized. If I'm commenting this, and if I try to split it, because since a string value is empty, as I had shown you, if you don't initialize any variable and you're just directly using it, then the value it is having is empty. So for empty string, if you're splitting it using any delimiter, the result is -1. Okay, these are the different types of interview questions you might come across. Although in real life scenarios, you won't try to split any string which doesn't have any value, but just for the sake of preparing for the interview, you might need to know. Now the next program which we'll see is to reverse the words in your string. Okay, so for example, let's say your string consists of QuickTest professional. Okay, and how do you want your output to be is, you have to reverse each and every string. For quick it will be K, C, I, U, Q. Okay, so I've reversed quick. And for test, similarly it will be T, S, E, T, and similarly for professional. So in this format I have to display. So how is it possible? Now you'll say that the easiest answer would be to use string reverse, but suppose you're appearing for the interview, they might ask you that without using string reverse function. These are the inbuilt functions which are developed to make your life easy, but for interview purpose they might ask you that do not use string reverse function. So what is the different approach you can do? to achieve your goal. So what you do is, first of all, if you have noticed that I've reversed each and every string, but the order in which I've placed, that is, the order has not changed. I've reversed quick, but it is always in the first place. I've reversed test, it is in the second place. I've reversed professional, but it is in the third place. So what I have to do is, the approach can be, I have to put it in an array, and then I have to reverse each the words one by one. Okay, so let's say array name, any name I'm giving to the array. I can first of all use split function to just split it. Okay, so in this way I've stored my individual words of the string in an array. Okay, so once that is done, now remember we cannot use string reverse function. So how will I reverse it? Okay, so I can reverse it without using. So let's say I'm using mid function. Okay, and using the mid function I can reverse each of the characters one by one. Okay, so let's start with the first array. So first of all I need to know the length of my array so that I can use a loop. Okay, so for I equal to starting of the array is 0 to upper bound of the array, which is a names. Okay, inside what I have to do is I have to pick each of the words in my array and I have to reverse it. So starting with first word, a names I. Okay, so the value of I will be 0. So quick 0 will has the word quick saved in it. So what we'll do is we'll take it and we'll use some mid function to it. Okay, so I'll put it inside the mid function, and I want to start with my last word, right? I want to start with my last letter. That is, I want to pick K first, then C, then I, then U, then Q, so that it can be reversed. So I need to know the last character of the position of the last character of my word. So how can I know it? By using length function. So length for that word, the word is saved in the array at the 0th position. Okay, so using the length function I will know the position at which the K is, and then comma 1, because I have to take one character at one time. Okay,